Hey everybody, welcome to another video. I'm Christina and today I'm going to be showing you some Photoshop tips. And if you're a beginner, I think this is a pretty good starting point with Photoshop. It helps you get used to the selection tools and just really being comfortable with selecting different things and layers as well. Let's get started. I've opened up my drawing in Photoshop. While this is the same drawing from my previous Illustrator video, I am going to be representing this drawing differently as compared to solid colors. And I kind of want my drawing to look like it's made from a yarn world, maybe Little Big Planet. And I really think this is a good exercise to get used to the selection tools and some of the editing tools in Photoshop if you're a beginner. And before I jump into everything right away, my Photoshop interface might look a little bit different from yours. If so, you can always go up here to the right and click on choose workspace and choose any different one you want. I'm just working in Essentials. Now to get started, I have my main lines here in layer 1. Now this is just going to serve as a template, sort of, almost acting like a cookie cutter for the other photos that I'm going to bring in and select and cut out and delete. I have selected some textures to use within my drawing. This is going to represent some of the grass on my island, so I'm just gonna make sure I unlock that layer, and I'm just gonna copy and paste it in, Control C and Control V. Now it is in its own separate layer here on layer 2. I am just going to resize this image by right clicking and holding down on that box constraint and just dragging. And I do want to be able to see my lines underneath. The easiest way to do that is just to click and drag on layer 2 so that it is below layer 1 where those main drawings are. Now I'm just going to zoom in, hitting Control+. If you're getting started off in Photoshop, I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can select. The first thing I'm going to show you is by using the lasso tool. Now over here on the left hand side, you can select the lasso tool right here. If you right click on it, there are different options. The lasso tool will allow you to use your mouse or whatever you're using to be able to hold and drag and select what you want as if you're drawing it out. So I'm just selecting this one little shape that I want to be green. Now if I hit delete, it's going to delete that part. But if I just want that and nothing else, I can hit select inverse, hit delete, and it deletes everything except that. Now let's say that I want to select more than one thing. First, I'm just going to start by selecting that first shape. To select something else while I already have something selected, I'm going to make sure that I'm holding down my shift key on my keyboard and start drawing the next shape. That way it retains that other shape that I already selected. And so now I have 4 shapes selected. I'm just going to right click and select inverse and delete the rest of that. Now I am going to show you guys how to select using the selection brush tool. Now that I have the selection brush tool selected, we can see that the brush is very big. So if I click, it will select the whole thing. So I'm just gonna hit deselect. And to change the size of this brush, I can go up to here where it says 200, hit this, and I can just scroll down, adjust depending on that circle size that I see. And then I can use that to just highlight what I want in my Photoshop drawing. And I can do more than one area at a time without having to hit the shift key. So now that I have what I want selected, I am going to cut these out a different way. I'm going to use this little tool right here that will create a mask for what I've selected. Now when I click on this, it cut it out from that photo, but not in the exact way that I cut it out previously. Because I have used a mask, I can go back in and recover whatever was cut out, or I can cut out more from what I selected. I can do that by going down here. I can see there's an option to subtract from mask or add to mask. Now, because my brush was a little bit too big, it did select some areas that I do not want it to select. So when I hit subtract from mask and I have this brush and I use it, it starts erasing whatever's there. I'm going to edit my brush so that it is small enough to get those little parts out. I'm going to go up here where this little dot is. I'm just going to turn the size down, and then I'm just going to go in and start removing those parts that I do not need. Real quick, I just want to point out a few things about my layers. Let's say, for example, I'm trying to move this layer but I end up accidentally grabbing my main drawing layer and I'm trying to move it and I accidentally move the whole thing. I'm gonna go to the main lines and lock that layer and then also lock these other layers that I have already cut out. That way they are not able to move if I accidentally select them. So now I can just select this one from anywhere and not move stuff that I do not want to move. Because I've already cut out some of these shapes, I am going to make sure that whatever else I cut out following after that is going to be below those layers. That way I can see the shapes that I've already cut out. And so now I'm just going to continue cutting out my grass textures. Now that I have my grass textures cut out already, I do want to change the colors of some of them. For example, maybe I want these ones to be more green than they are blue, and then maybe I want that really dark color to be more green than it is looking kind of black. So I'm going to start with those ones that look blue. I'm going to make sure I have that layer selected, and I'm going to go up here to Image, Adjustments, Color Balance. I'm just going to start sliding these around to make it look more green. And I'm going to just keep doing that for the rest of those textures that I want to change colors. Now that I've adjusted the colors, I'm now going to move on and cut out some textures for the rest of the island where the dirt is going to look like a brown basket weave. Now I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool, which is also in the same area where you can find the lasso tool. I'm just right clicking and then I'm going to click on polygonal lasso tool. For me, it's a little bit easier because it helps keep those lines straight. I am just clicking and creating these line segments. The polygonal lasso tool really just keeps those lines straight. I'm going to be using this tool for the rest of my drawing. Now I finished doing the cutouts. If I wanted to, I can see what my drawing would look like without those lines. When I hit that eye icon right next to that layer, I can see it without it. But maybe if I kind of want them there, but not to be so visible, I can always turn down the opacity right here using the slider. That way it's sort of visible, but it's not jumping out. So this is before and after using Photoshop. So pretty easy, right? It can take some getting used to, but I think it's a really good starting point. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.